Who should really buy this Fender Sherwood Green 4-string bass? Who can safely skip it? And does the price make sense for the average player? Those are the 3 questions that keep most beginners and hobbyists up at night, especially when a glossy photo of a metallic green body catches the eye and every forum is buzzing about the best starter bass. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When you're standing in a music store or scrolling through a long list of options, the biggest hesitation is usually, will this instrument actually work for me, or am I just paying for a brand name? For a bass guitar, the daily reality is that most players spend the majority of their time either practicing scales, jamming with a band, or learning songs that demand a solid low-end foundation. If you've ever tried a cheap, non-adjustable neck and found yourself constantly tweaking the truss rod or fighting string buzz, you know how quickly that can erode motivation. The Fender Sherwood Green tries to solve that by offering a fully adjustable HIMAS bridge and a modern 9.5-inch fingerboard radius that promises smooth, easy playing action from the first strum. The question is whether those promises translate into a bass that feels ready to play right out of the case, or whether you'll still need a few hours of setup time. Let's break down who will find this instrument genuinely useful. If you're a beginner who already knows that you'll need a reliable instrument for regular practice, the Sherwood Green's dual custom shop jazz-style 60s pickups are a huge plus. Those pickups are known for delivering a balanced tone that can swing from tight, punchy funk lines to warm, rounded jazz tones without having to swap out the instrument. In real-world terms, that means you can sit down with a local jam group and not sound out of place whether the song calls for a gritty, snappy rock vibe or a smooth, cool focused groove. The fact that the pickup configuration is already built into the bass eliminates the need for aftermarket modifications that can get costly and time-consuming. Another practical strength is the sustain and sonic definition touted by Fender's designers, which really shows up when you're playing longer notes in a melodic bass line. In a typical gig setting, a bassist often has to hold a note while the rest of the band moves around it. The sustained tone from a properly set-up HIMAS bridge means that those notes don't die out prematurely, keeping the low end solid and the overall mix tighter. For anyone who values that kind of presence, whether you're a high school band member or a hobbyist who records simple tracks at home, this element can be the difference between a meh sound and something that actually holds its own in a mix. Now, who should probably skip this model? If you're a player who only needs a bass for occasional bedroom practice and you're comfortable with a basic, low-cost instrument that won't break the bank, you might be better off with a more budget-oriented option. The Sherwood Green sits in a price bracket where you're paying for Fender's name, the dual custom shop pickups, and the adjustable hardware, all of which are great for durability and tone, but those benefits can be overkill for someone who never plans to gig or record. Also, if you're someone who prefers a very slim neck profile, say, the ultra-thin feel of a 5-string precision, you may find the 9.5-inch radius a bit too rounded for fast, technical playing. The rolled fingerboard is designed for comfort, but it can feel a bit bulkier for those who have grown accustomed to a flatter, more shreddable feel. One hidden trade-off that shows up after you take the bass home is the weight. The Sherwood Green's metallic finish and solid body give it a respectable heft, which can be a blessing for stage presence but also means longer carry times if you're shuffling it between rehearsals. I've seen a few players mention that after a 3-hour set, the extra weight can lead to slight fatigue, especially if you're not used to the classic Fender balance. This isn't a flaw, but a point to consider if you have a commute to a venue or like to stand for long sessions. Another practical weakness lies in the finished durability. Metallic green looks amazing under stage lights, but the lacquer can show fingerprints and minor scratches more visibly than a matte black or natural finish. If you're the type who travels with your gear and handles it a lot, think of a college student lugging a case from dorm to dorm. Those cosmetic concerns could become a source of annoyance faster than the sound quality itself. The good news is that the finish is fairly easy to wipe clean, but you'll need to be diligent about keeping a polishing cloth on hand if you care about that showroom shine. What about setup time? The fully adjustable HIMAS bridge is marketed as a feature that reduces the need for frequent neck adjustments. In practice, this means you can set the string height and intonation once, and the